This week, we went to go see Tron ARES in IMAX. That's right, in IMAX, but is it any good? We'll talk. Hi, how you doing today? It's Just here. Hope you're having a good day. And today, yes, we just saw Tron ARES in IMAX, but is it worth it for that format? Honestly, absolutely yes. Why the movie's filmed for IMAX, so what does that mean for you as a viewer? You get to have the extended aspect ratio. Not only that, you see up to 26% more only in IMAX, and of course, you get to experience the proprietary sound that provides powerful in-depth audio experience. Of course, sources links below to back up my claims. This is not just me shouting from the rooftops that you should, and it's filmed for IMAX. No, links below. Now let's look at a different source. This is taken from IMAX's Instagram page, and it's just a screenshot. It's actually a reel, so link below if you want to see that. This is just to show you that what you would be missing out if you were to see this in a non-traditional IMAX experience. So let's just bump up the zoom size. So you see that if you see it in IMAX, you see more in terms of the x-axis, well, mostly the y-axis to be very honest with you, but you just get more full, broader experience than you would to see it in a non-IMAX screening. Now let's get on to the review. Tron ARES is a mind-bending sci-fi action-adventure sequel arriving 15 years later, right? Crazy. 15 years later after Tron Legacy. The massive e-com corporation is now run by Eve Kim, which is played by Greta Lee, which is cool because when I saw her in the cinemas, I was like, that looks familiar, well, she looks familiar, and then I figured out that she was in Past Lives, which was a weird, good love triangle movie, so she is kind of like the lead. I mean, it's kind of Jared Leto's things, but still, battling a rival opposition known as Dillinger. Our main focus is ARES, though, played by Jared Leto, a program from the opposition. He is told he is dispensable and expendable, and ARES has a digital desire for freedom. He seeks the permanence code, that's what they call it, the permanence code, that ties with his masters to become his own man in the real world and, of course, the grid. Will ARES get this code to be free? And what happened to Sam Flynn in the previous movie? Find out as we talk about it. To understand my review, you have to recognize my history with Tron. I was a sophomore in high school when Legacy came out. And by the way, if I sound or look weird, it's because allergies, so bear with me. So Legacy came out in December of 2010, and I was a sophomore. I was dating a gorgeous girl that I thought I was gonna marry. I was kind of being a bad boy. We were, getting a little bit of drinks before the movie theater and stuff because we went to dinner after. But that was back then. I was a bad boy. So I remember going to the cinemas with my friends at that time, right? I didn't go with my ex-girlfriend, which I thought I was gonna marry, but I remember because it was snowing. It was like beautiful. It was like the best time, in life, kind of. And the movie was truly amazing. It had some flirtation in terms of like the main guy, Sam Flynn, and I think Cora was the girl played by Olivia Wilde, which was gorgeous back then. She still is. Groundbreaking soundtrack, and the visuals were way ahead of its time. That movie was a cult classic for a reason, but we just didn't know it until years later. I already knew I would like ARES because this is the type of person that I am. I am a house music, cyberpunk, neon, futuristic, romance, martini type dude, right? Despite, and of course, minus the romance, ARES just appeals to me just because of what I like and my interests. I mean, look at my background. You see the neon-drenched, futuristic stuff, Sword Art Online, come on, Nerve. Have you seen Nerve? That's like neon-drenched city as well. Despite the mixed critical reaction and reception, if you are a particular type of my kind of audience with the likes and dislikes, then this movie will resonate deeply, just like it did with a few other of us. I think this movie, yeah, it's not going to be in cinemas for much longer, but there's going to be a cult classic, which we are, and we're going to talk about it. So I am leaning towards really liking this movie. But I do recognize it has a lot of problems. Big one that we'll talk about. Let's keep this simple. The movie looks gorgeous. It's one of the greatest strengths. The neon-drenched grid, of course, incorporated with the city, is all here. Better than Legacy, but just leveled up. They bring in elements in terms of the programs from the real world and from the grid, incorporated and mixed together. They are seeking the permanence code. The permanence code is a thing that ARES, because he could only be from the grid into the real world for 29 minutes, right? So they're trying to experiment with the technology, but then after 29 minutes, he dies and goes back to the grid, right? If you loved Legacy's art style, you'll be memorized in this movie. It feels elegant, luxurious, clean, and sharp. A truly visual spectacle. The 9 Inch Nails soundtrack is amazing and one of the best things about the movie, but let's be honest, I'm sorry, but there definitely no Daft Punk. I mean, Daft Punk just had a cultural moment with Legacy. And even some of the marketing material, you still have Daft Punk. There are definitely no Daft Punk. Yes, it's heavy soundtrack, techno, EDM that's bumping through the bass speakers of the EDM theater that I was at, or EDM concert or whatever. It feels like that during multiple points of the movie. movie. I definitely need some of the background and cinematography and the suits, the bikes, you know, that the characters wear for my next Comic-Con. So the soundtrack and the visuals is one of the breathtaking parts about the film. Although, let's be honest, one of the critical things and one of the most disappointing things is the story. It's serviceful and palpable. It's not as good as Legacy, to be very honest with you. It's, I feel like, a little messy. Could have used more time in the creative department or the writing room, sure. But I knew what was happening and I was following along. Jared Leto, let's be honest, I am a fan from Morbius to Blade Runner, if you guys didn't know that. He was a little bit iffy in House of Gucci, you know, but he feels a little bit reserved here. Not just because the writing him needed to be. He is a program with no feelings, trying to get the permanence code. He is trying to understand what it means to be human or to be alive, quote unquote speak. Evan Peters as Dillinger is awesome. He really plays that young billionaire playboy. He has basically a company and he has so much money. But when I was watching the movie, I was like, dude, this guy plays like he has so much money, but he's like a little kid in a playground, right? He has a grid. He's trying to get them back into the real world. He's trying to attack them. I'm like, wow, dude, this guy, I mean, yeah, he has disposable money. And then his mother is like berating him, hey, we can't be doing this. You know, you gotta start hacking. You gotta start coming back. I'm like, dude, it feels cohesive as the main cast with Ecom trying to deactivate or try to get the permanence code away from Dillinger because he wants to use it for nefarious purposes. Look, I do like this movie because it caters to my personal interest, but I do understand that a lot of people might not like it. But for me, I personally do because it aligned with my likes, my hobbies, of course, my aesthetics in terms of attire and stuff. It has traditional chase sequences, some flashy hand-to-hand combat, and of course some team versus team intrigue in terms of hacking, Ecom, hacking Dillinger. It is definitely going to be in my personal library, and I don't know if I'll get the Blu-ray for it. Maybe when it comes cheaper, like 20 bucks or something, you know. Everything about it is a visual cocktail martini, including the soundtrack, right? The story could be messed up, but we've talked about it. You need to see this in IMAX. If not, you definitely need to experience this at least once in the cinemas. At the end of the day, I'm gonna give my grade B, solid B. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you so much. Maybe consider hitting that like button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care, bye.